Blind, I was blinded, and I don't see once again. Let the beat drop.
What's up, Hanz family? Today's video is going to be a collab with Alex Faction on Mad Max Fury Road. Alex decided to do Immortan Joe with his awesome skull type mask, and then I did my version of Slit, one of the war boys. I had filmed this entire look for you guys, and unfortunately the card got corrupted that I had all of my footage on, so I decided to refilm the crucial parts of this tutorial. This includes the scars and the brand that I had made. If you follow me on other social media, you saw I tried to do everything I could to figure out why my footage was corrupted, but couldn't do it, so I at least wanted to refilm this and give you guys something because I love this look so much. All details will be listed down below and throughout the video, and let's get to it. I started out my scars by using 3rd Degree. It's a silicone-based product, and this is actually one of my first times using it. What it is you get 2 jars, part A and part B. You mix both of them together to create the silicone compound. When mixing these, you want to mix equal parts of each other. Make sure to use separate spatulas to get out each product. You do not want to cross-contaminate. Cross-contaminating will potentially ruin the product. Once you have them both down in a palette, go ahead and mix them together using a clean spatula. Goldie Starling did recently put up a video talking all about 3rd Degree, so make sure to go check that out for any further questions. She's awesome. I went ahead and did one side. In the movie, his scars aren't this intense, but I really wanted them to look rugged and gross. So we are now starting the other side. I start with a clean face, and actually I did put a little spirit gum down just to really hold the product on, but you don't have to. But if you are wearing this out, it'll help to keep this on your face because it can peel up. When the spirit gum's tacky, you can see I'm starting to put big lumps along my face in the shape of the scar that I want. Once you have the base of where you want your scar to be, I am taking my palette knife, cleaning it off, and then scooping out a small line where I am going to have the inner portion of the scar. Scars aren't supposed to be super straight, they're going to be kind of messy and jagged, so I was going for that. You can also see I'm trying to smooth out the edges as much as possible with my palette knife. Basically, put silicone down and then slowly smooth it out to blend with your skin. You could also do what Goldie Starling does, which is take a brush dipped in alcohol to smooth out the edges, but unfortunately I did not have any alcohol. For this look though, it was fine because I really wanted a grungy, ugly looking scar. I'm starting to build up the edges right along that line more and more because I want this skin to look very raised upwards. You also don't want it to look clean. Add more in certain spots, make it look jagged, take your palette knife, clean it off again, and add more of those little lines. Look at some realistic pictures of scars if you need to too. As that's starting to kind of cure and dry a little bit, I am taking these disposable lip brushes, and I want them to be kind of fibery. You could also use a sponge. I want to give my face just a little bit of texture. And by a little bit of texture, I mean a lot, because again, I want this to look really ugly and gross. You don't particularly need to set these, but I wanted to just a little bit, so I took a little bit of the shine away. They were very shiny, so I took these 2 powders mixed together just to add a little bit of tint, and buffed it all over the scar. Mehron has this highlight and contour palette with their foundations in it. I did show you the lightest and darkest shades on my tattoo to show you the coverage. We want to take that lightest shade and just stipple it all over our face. This includes over the scars, and again, we don't want no full coverage look. We want to stipple that very loosely. When I did the look before, I did do this all over my face and my body. This part is extremely important, will help to bring the look together slowly. I'm using my Makeup Geek contour powders, which are new. They're the shit. And I'm going to start just contouring out my face a little bit. You want to really dirty up your face as much as possible. So use these contour shades or any brown eyeshadow that you have to really accentuate your bone structure, but also to really dirty up your skin and those scars. Using a larger kind of foundation brush and stippling on the color will really help to achieve that look. I'm using Mehron's Bruise wheel now, and I'm mixing the red, a little bit of the brown, and some of the light foundation tone I used just a little earlier to get this kind of muted down red tone to fill the scar in. The scar is kind of irritated, it didn't, heal beautifully, so we want to add a little bit of red in there, but not blood red. We ain't trying to be the Joker up in this bitch. I'm also taking it just around the edges a little bit too to kind of make the skin look a little irritated. In the deepest crevices of the scars, we want to darken that, so I'm taking the darkest contour shade from Makeup Geek, and then continue to take that brown grease paint and add more of that dirt. Since the skin is raised up, I'm taking the lightest foundation shade again, mixed with a little bit of white, just to put it right up against that base of the skin. And we want to use that exact same shade on the teeth too. Slit doesn't have these, but they were so cool looking on some of the other War Boys that I had to add them in. So these are basically going to be scars among our lips. We want the white part to look like it's raised forward. By doing that, we have to add shadow around them and underneath. I'm using a mixture of that red that we used earlier, and a little bit of the brown tones of shadow. You don't want these to look clean, so really make it look really messy. The shading shouldn't be perfect either. Like you saw in the first part of the tutorial, I did do this brand on my chest, but here I'm doing it on my forehead. It's pretty much the exact same we did on our teeth. We're just going to put the shape we want in the lightest foundation shade. I chose to go with the little symbol they have throughout the movie because it's really cool, so I went with that. Just draw it out, draw the little flames, do whatever you want to do, whatever brand you want, and then make it look a little irritated and raised with that red again. You can see I'm going all around the scar with it, but I'm also adding more in certain spots because we want it to look random. Skin doesn't heal perfectly symmetrical, especially with the tools that they're using, I would assume. I used brown eyeshadow just to give the details back to the look and to add a little shadow because the raised skin itself would add a shadow onto the skin. And for Slit, he has a couple little staples, so I just cut out some little pieces of plastic and painted them, and then added them to my face with spirit gum. If you have actual staples, you could, do that as well. And then for a metal effect, I added a little bit of white to the tips of them. I wanted to show you guys the difference in the first look that I did and the second. The first look, I did have more time, and so I added a lot more dirt, a few more scars. I did add a shoulder piece to it, but I wanted to just give you the gist of the tutorial so you could do this yourself. Adding on other scars is very easy. You do the exact same thing with the silicone that we did to the scars around our mouth. You could do this anywhere on your chest, wherever you would want. I deeply apologize, you guys, again, for not having the full look on video, but I did want to just give you the gist of how to do it. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed yourself. Let me know what you think down below. I love you guys, and I will just see you in the next video.